That second grace, never understood by religion. How many have that second grace? That you are a predestined one. That you are a treasure that lives in an earthen vessel. That the clay vessel bothers you, it speaks to you, it manifests itself. But as you already know it, you're clay. When it hurts you and you get up, in a bad mood, well, you know that I can't believe this because this is temporary. Tomorrow I feel better. You have noticed how he lies, right? And all of us who know that, we live differently because we have a second grace. I mean, we go through situations. That's why it says it's not comparable with afflictions. Because as long as you are in the flesh, there are afflictions, but they are not comparable with the glory that is coming. It cannot be compared to the glory that is to come. You know that the book of Song of Solomon presents the bridegroom and the bride. And then the bridegroom goes about seeking the beloved and says, I went about the city seeking her whom my soul loves. And I asked the guard, have you seen her whom my soul loves? No, we have not seen her. And he says, I looked for her and did not find her. And it was a persistence. That is why it lasted 2,000 years until today that he found the beloved. And then he says that when he found the beloved, imagine, that was beautiful. In Bible schools, they forbid even reading that book because it produces like, hey, what is it called? Hey, that produces sexual arousal. Well, I was a student in Pennsylvania, and one time I went to the bathroom with my Bible, but I said, don't take your Bible. Why? The Bible? And they were just tremendous legalists, guys. They thought I was carrying a Playboy magazine or something like that. Hey, this is the Bible. How come I can't come in with the Bible? Then they told me, no, these people think, hey, how malicious those evangelicals are. Thank God the Lord took me out of there. But then what happens? That finally the husband meets his beloved and finds her dressed. And then she comes and sits on his lap. And then he looks at her beautiful breasts and they begin to love each other. And then she says to him, please put a stamp on my forehead and make a tattoo on my right hand. Church, Jesus of Nazareth was called a glutton, a drunkard, a myriad of names. These people call me a deceiver. Beast. He says that for the times of Jesus Christ, there was the Torah. And there was the interpretation that they gave to that book. It was not revelation, it was interpretation. When Jesus came, the interpretation did not match with what he was, with the revelation. And they didn't understand him, and they crucified him. They persecuted him and called him by various names. What happens that now? History repeats itself. The evangelical interpretation, the theological interpretation of the Bible, because it didn't match God's revelation, because they never understood the uncircumcision. And then, well, I come to them a second time. And then history repeats itself, because it is necessary that when he manifests himself, he will be rejected and mocked. Why? Because they do not understand. That's why Paul said, I wish you would understand that second grace, and that you might have a second grace.